Okay.
Hey.
It's time. We're doing this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Missy and Macy Explore the Universe. We're your hosts, Missy and Macy, and we are here to share our journeys through spiritual awakenings and supernatural gifts. Listen in as we share our experiences in spirituality and ritual, aiming to be our most authentic selves, our most aligned selves, and our most embodied selves. So bring your curiosity and bring your questions and let's explore the universe together. Tune in every Thursday for another episode. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. And join us on this exciting journey as we discover universal magic together. Welcome to Missy and Macy Explore the Universe.
Missy's teaching me to Google smarter.
Academics for horrible writing.
Journals are sexy.
Oh my god, did we just become best friends?
Already. No, that happened 2 weeks ago. And I have the video moment to to prove it. It reminded me of in Step Brothers when they become best friends. Because I shoot up. I'm laying there in the session and I'm like, hey, you want to do a podcast? You're like, yeah. That's at least how it went in my mind.
Okay, cool.
But it was basically like, you want to be best friends? Yes. That's how I remember it.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to do something with me.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was going to wait till the session's over, but since you brought it up and I guess Spirit's nudging, I have ideas.
I have so many ideas, and I'm telling you, I have had to force myself to put myself out there.
Here we finally are. And yeah, that was just, Spirit was just like, you two, get together. I was like, I need help.
Are we the peanut butter and jelly of spiritual awakenings? What?
Peanut butter jelly time?
Peanut butter jelly time.
Healing spirituality time.
We're totally gonna roll with that.
We'll have a theme song eventually.
Can Seth MacFarlane sing it?
What?
Seth MacFarlane sing it?
Jasmine Barone? Is that what you said?
Can Seth MacFarlane sing it? Who's Jasmine Barone?
Wasn't she?
Remember?
No, Fantasia. You remember Fantasia?
Yeah.
Barone? Yeah, I think that was her last name.
Okay.
So for me, before I even talk about what we're finding on the internet, the hawk that I've been noticing on my drives, I've been noticing hawks for the past 2 weeks, and it's been a source of strength for me.
Then that's what it means.
Yeah. So what Mind Body Green, we'll look it up later. The spiritual meaning of the hawk can vary depending on the situation. Hawks represent changes, for sure. That's been happening. Clarity, pursuing your goals, dreams, protection, and honoring your inner wisdom. All of that's been happening. So when I had my spiritual awakening, and I think some people hear spiritual awakening and they're like, what the heck is that? Oh, there's a lot of people that might be like, that's crazy, or I don't know. There's a lot of stigma around it. But it truly was. I don't know how else to say what happened, because it was life-changing. Things definitely happened. There's a marked difference in my life from when this started until now. And I think one of the things I really love about myself and value about myself is that I am pretty open. I am pretty vulnerable. I am very trusting. And sometimes that doesn't work out in my favor. And so when I started getting these downloads, my grandma came to me first. My grandma had passed, and I started getting visits from grandma. It was amazing. It felt like grandma was giving me a hug. It was grandma. Like I'd be watching Golden Girls playing solitaire and like grandma was with me. Like it was cool.
And there's no other way to
And
describe it.
yeah.
It's permeated the space and I can feel it. Like that's, yeah.
And this new gift was just so incredible to me. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I didn't know this was a real thing. You know, I'd heard of mediums, I've heard the stories. And, you know, there's so many stories that, like, show that this is a real thing. Like, there's so many videos, so much evidence that, like, spirit talks to us all the time. And if we were in tune, if we were open to it, we hear those messages more. But when I started and I get these downloads, I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, what else can I ask Spirit? I go, what else you got for me? What else can I do? Why not? And I got a message. I got a visit from one of my coworkers' moms that had passed. And it was very vivid. It was very pointed. It was very much like I got images and I got a couple of messages. And I was really mindful of like sharing it. And I asked permission. She had been sharing a lot of like signs she had been getting. And I was like, hey, like, this is going to sound weird, but I've been getting these things. And I think I just got something from your mom. Like, and I want to share it with you if you're open to that. Like, I don't need to. Like, it does not. But so that happened, and then like word kind of got around, and then people were asking, and it was unsafe. It became unsafe for me because I did get more messages from Spirit, and I shared it with an unsafe person, and then the Tower card happened. Which, for anyone that doesn't know the Tower card, things kind of crumbled and fell apart for a minute there. But my third eye blockage happened then, and I stopped getting messages for a long time, and I was really sad because that is such a gift. And I felt like someone had taken it away from me, but like knowing like Reiki and like knowing now what I know, it took a lot of healing and trusting to get that gift back. So this is me explaining to you kind of that. That's also why it's taken me so long to step out of the spiritual closet, because I've been hurt. Like, I've been shunned before. I've been thought of as crazy or evil, or like I don't know. Anyone that really knows me would not call me
Sure.
yeah, no, evil or ill-intentioned or any of that. But it's powerful stuff. And so I had a blockage for a while that you're acknowledging here.
Yeah, I did have a big blockage there.
Okay.
I was getting downloads and messages from spirits a couple of years ago, and I shared them with some people that were not safe.
Yeah.
And there were some traumatic things that happened, and then I didn't want to turn off that gift. It just kind of, I think I got scared and it blocked for so long.
That's normal.
So you said that's normal.
I mean, first of all, let me acknowledge what is normal. I don't really think that's a thing, but I also don't control what comes out of my mouth in session. So that was likely Spirit's way of validating, like, hey, you're not the only one that this has happened to. And I know that I am one of those people. So I started seeing, my first memories with like my active brain, not the stuff that my parents would tell me, but like my own memories, I have always seen things. And with the good comes the bad, until you know how to filter that and how to protect yourself and make sure that you're surrounded by people who are going to help you protect yourself and who also protect themselves, and, you know, continuing on and on and on.
Right. Those that respect other people's boundaries, energies.
Yes, exactly. That like energy attracts like energy, and like how great is it to be an innocent little child, you know, who sees things. But I trauma turned mine off too.
That's so sad. And It does, like, you feel like, I don't know, I was like, oh, this amazing thing was taken away from me, is what I felt like for a while. And there was definitely resentment and hurt around it.
Yeah, and I mean, in reality, if we want to get psychological about it, you chose to turn it off, which was a protection mechanism. And it was likely necessary. The same for me. You know, whether it was because if you would have continued being vocal about it because you were seeing it, somebody quite possibly could have harmed you. Or if it was because we're just as like teenagers or as young adults, we're in this place of, you know, where everything is so dramatic all the time. And so that energy is really going to come back to you, and that's all you're going to feel. And so a lot of these, you know, energies that you're going to see and experience are not the most fun. I have plenty of stories about the not so great side of seeing the unseen. But I also think that when you wake back up, when you take control and you're aware enough to tap back in yourself instead of just being born into it because you're still so closely connected to the source that you came from, I think that is the spiritual awakening. That is you going, this is me. I am in control. I am protected. I can do that with spirit, with God. You know, I know where this comes from. I am a divine human soul, or I'm a divine soul living in a human body. Not only can I protect my physical body, but God can protect my soul, and nothing can harm me. You know, and that is when you really start to wake up and really take the reins on the abilities that everyone has, but we've chosen to turn them off because the world tells us to.
And it's such a beautiful homecoming. It is unfortunate that the world, you said the world tells us to, and I feel like yes, and so from an improv, I'm always like, yes, and yes, like, gosh, we grew up mostly like in the 90s, early 2000s. I've been watching a lot of sitcoms from that era, and a lot of it was highlighting people's differences, and a lot of the shows were kind of good shows, good messages. They'd wrap things up with a bow in 30 minutes.
I'm super
But
into Pod Meets World right now.
into what?
Pod Meets World, the Boy Meets World cast got back together to do a podcast, and it's phenomenal. And they talk about this stuff.
So Topanga was this. I love Topanga. Love Topanga.
Love Topanga.
Yeah. She's okay, right. Okay. But yeah, she was like the weirdo that like believed in all the spirit, and like Dharma and Greg was another one.
I love Dharma and Greg.
I love Dharma and her parents.
Right. Oh my God.
But yeah, there was a stigma around it growing up. But with the advent of the internet, which when we were teenagers was like still like a dial-up modem, it was still like pictures were taking 15 minutes to load, and
does anybody even know what a landline
songs took right AOL. Anyway, ancient technology is what we were using then. And there wasn't as much of this beautiful platform that we have now. And this is what I've always loved about the internet, is that we have a way to amplify our voices. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, as long as you have access to this technology, which is really like so global now.
Right.
But there are so many more messages now. And there are so many more, like, there is like a spiritual revolution happening, and people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, the stigma is lessening.
Yeah.
But that could just be my algorithm. But I do believe the more messages that are out there, and just us doing this and saying,
guess what,
you know, showing up authentically.
Yes.
And just, yes. It's a whole homecoming. It's like a whole other kind of homecoming when you do have that return to your body. So maybe a spiritual awakening, another like kind of way to say it is, a return to home and learning. It was relearning a lot of living inside my body, trusting myself.
That makes me emotional. It's so true.
Figuring out how to decode those messages, understanding that they are messages. Like, once you start to tune in, like you're going to walk the world differently.
Yes.
And hopefully in more flow. So
Yeah.
getting through water is a little
Yes.
easier.
You'll find your fins. There is a connection between science and spirituality. And when your body feels something, it reminds your brain that it has a choice to think differently and to feel differently. And you know, it can change. You can change your thought and your body will feel different. And when you also have this belief in this higher power that can also aid in that, like it's beautiful. Healing is beautiful. It's hard, but it's beautiful.
When you say healing is hard, and I agree, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because I think I certainly can.
I think that as humans, we get comfortable in the habitual happenings of our life, and that's where we feel like things are going right because nothing is being disrupted. And you know, a spiritual awakening, it's like, okay, so I actually just explained this to someone else last night, where you've got this pot, right? And we've all heard that term, like stir the pot, right? Sometimes we'll stir our own pot and we'll think that it's going really well, but really we're just in this eternal whirlpool where we can't really stop even if we wanted to. All right. So if you're trying to stop this whirlpool, what do you have to do? You have to stop. And then everything's just coming at you, right? You can't breathe. There's water in your face. You're like, oh my God, what if I die? I can't fall. I'll be sucked under into the current. Right. And then when spirit says, hey, good, now you're awake. You splash some water on your face, and then spirit's like, okay, now I need you to walk. I need you to walk against the current. And you're like, what? Are you kidding me? And your legs are sore and you're breathing heavy and you're like, I can't do this, but you have to. And so then you stop a little while and you might slip and you might get back into the current, right? But the more you take a step, the more you walk, the more disrupted that water becomes, and it might feel a little bit rocky and shaky and wavy, and you might get splashed a couple of times, but eventually it's going to calm. And you will have complete control over everywhere that you step. The water will be so calm and clear that you will see everywhere that you're going, and you'll know exactly why you're going there. And that is why healing is hard.
Yes. I think water is a big healing factor for me. I also have shower power. My best thoughts, my meditative phases, the shower is so nice. And I think the water has a lot to do with it. At night I shower and I kind of like cleanse my energy. I like shower off the day and meditate. But then in the morning I like to go on these spiritual walks, usually around water. And it's always telling me something. Like if I'll be walking and I'll look at the water and I'll see the way a ripple is moving, or I'll see how there is a blockage or there's stagnation and now it's getting murky and kind of yucky, or whoa, there's all these rocks here and it's going so fast. And that's when life goes fast, when there's turbulence. But over here it's calm. So there's so much wisdom that I gain just from doing these walks around water.
You do. And have you ever noticed that, like, if you're in that whirlpool, like I always take it back to when I was a kid and we'd all just like make the whirlpool. The outer edges are what moved the fastest, right? So if you're feeling that resistance, you go to the center of the water. You have to center yourself, work from that calm place, right? And you're going to find that the world is going to spin around you, but you don't have to be in it. Right? You just observe and then you decide where you're going to step. And eventually, yes, the water does calm. And then it's probably going to start up again because that's the human existence. Right? But you can always go to the center. Ugh. So good.
Yeah. If you could be in the eye of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, if you can be that centered spot in the middle while everything is swirling around you, then you can, you remain confident and calm and knowing and trusting that you're going to get through this, just like you've gotten through everything else.
Yep.
100%. We have run out of time, but we have not run out of things to say.
No.
Tune in next time. Same vlog time, same vlog channel for more authentic experiences, stories, and sharing in our spiritual journey. I'm Missy. I'm Macy. I'm Macy.
So often, I was like, wait, and I'm Macy.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Macy.
And we're your guides through this spiritual journey. So please come along with us. It is going to be fun. There will be random songs. There will be throwbacks to all kinds of pop culture references.
Oh.
And we will break down spirituality in the best way we know how. And keep it relatable. Keep it authentic.
Keep it authentic.
That's the goal.
Yes, keep it authentic. If you don't relate, let us know and we'll find a way to make that happen.
Or just don't follow us.
Authentic. I didn't say it.
Or just move on. Okay, I'm gonna stop.